What's going on, guys? Dan Watson, learningcameras.com, and I've got the Osmo right here and we're shooting with it. So we're going to kind of see some of the motion and see how this thing responds to me walking in some pretty rough terrain. But overall, I was really excited about this camera. It's giving me 4K and slow motion options in an incredibly small package. So DJI has some really nice products on the market now. So I really wanted to see if this can deliver and still give me the quality of what I'm looking for. So stay tuned for this full review and we'll see how this performs.
With the Osmo, DJ basically just took its X3 camera system and integrated into a 3-axis gimbal on a handle. It retails for $650, including the camera, with a ton of available accessories such as bike mounts, accessory arms, ND filters, and a ton more. The links to purchase these items are listed below, and B&H actually has this camera listed below retail right now, so definitely check them out. The build quality in general is very good, and I have no worries about this thing holding up to continued use. The cell phone mount actually takes things a step up in build quality, and I felt very secure risking my phone without fear of this thing falling down. Practically speaking though, it's kind of tough to get your phone in the holder, and if you have a case, you're probably going to have to remove it before you can get the phone into that holder. That said, I had no issues using my Note 5 with a pretty big 5.7-inch display inside of this holder. Working your way around the device, and you're going to find a micro SD slot, USB port, mic port, and joystick for moving around the camera, and a few buttons alongside a trigger for controlling the camera. Overall, it was pretty comfortable to use and as a nice layout that's easy to get a hold of. Controlling the Osmo takes place in the app, and while it's possible to record without it, you have very limited functionality and obviously no way of viewing the footage. Without the app, a trigger is used for centering the camera and for activating a selfie mode. A joystick also allows for smooth motion of the camera, and a record button is present for use without any additional devices. But fire up the app and you're going to have a few options for the gimbal's advanced settings and also for controlling the video and photo recording options. So let's go ahead and get two major hardware oversights in my opinion off the table, because it's probably enough to keep me from purchasing the Osmo, or at least until you have a little bit more money on hand for some additional accessories. No matter how much I liked it, I couldn't help but get absolutely frustrated at the lack of a 1/4-20 mount on the bottom of the handle. While the phone attachment is removable and uses a tripod mount, because of its placement on the side, it makes any kind of use really unpractical, and obviously this would require another option for holding your phone. There are so many potential uses for this camera mounted to a tripod, tabletop mount, clamp, or even a monopod for long-term use that are just no longer easily possible. Now I say easily because DJI will sell you a ton of solutions by way of extension arms and an extension rod, which both house additional tripod mounts. Add to that a universal mount with cold shoe connections and their table tripod, and you should have a solid setup, although about $160 less money in your wallet. While you're at it, pick up some proprietary ND filters, which you're gonna need, and some optional accessories like a bike mount and car mount, which thankfully are a little bit less necessary. The other issue is that, like other drone cameras, the focus is going to be fixed, and on this camera it's 1 meter to infinity, and that means that anything closer to 1 meter was going to appear out of focus with no options for isolating subjects or for changing focus. What's interesting is that a triple tap on the trigger puts the camera into a selfie mode, which guaranteed that my face would be slightly out of focus until my arm grows a bit longer, or I purchase the selfie stick, which DJI is happy to sell me. It's not all bad though. As a stabilizer, the Osmo is actually quite good. The motion is smooth and almost no jerkiness, with setup that's really minimal at most. Sure, you can tweak some of the settings, but out of the box, the Osmo just works. The fixed 20mm lens on the X3 certainly helps, as these wider lenses make jerky movements a little bit less pronounced, but I wish there was an option for zooming in just a bit more, as 20mm is really a bit wide for me and defeats some of the purpose of a handheld stabilizer. Video quality is also very good for a drone camera, but it was obvious enough to me that I wasn't using a very high-end camera. Video compression also seemed very high, which led to artifacting, harsh highlights, and a little bit muddier footage than I expected, even in 4K. And the smaller sensor that's inside of these cameras is going to make you want to stay away from anything higher than about 400 ISO, which is still good. Battery life also is just barely okay at just over an hour, so you're definitely going to need to pick up a few spares. While overall, I think it was a bit negative towards the Osmo, let's get one thing straight. This is the first gimbal ever that I was able to use straight out of the box with absolutely no setup and get amazingly stable footage. The closest competition is going to require a GoPro in conjunction with another kind of stabilizer, and the quality and simplicity of the Osmo really provided a much better package than that. If you want to step up from the Osmo, you're going to require something like the Ronin M, which you can check out in my review, but this means also getting a separate camera and the time for setting up and balancing, which is the single biggest reason that I would consider the Osmo. Sure, the quality might be better on another system depending on the camera you use, but the Ronin M alone is twice the price of the Osmo, which includes a camera. To me, the quality of the Osmo and the overall package certainly provides a compelling option. Plan on spending about $250 and some additional accessories, and then I think you'll have a compelling handheld stabilizer with quite a few potential uses with almost no setup required. If you would like to download the footage from this review in 4K without the further YouTube compression, head to the website at learningcameras.com. The link is also listed below. I've got the download link for that set up on the website. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You'll get all the latest updates on gears if you want to ask questions or just join the community. So feel free to sound off with your personal opinions in the comments below, and stay tuned for some more reviews coming up.